Hey, welcome to the final installment of my league setup video. Note that I do have some advanced videos out there for league setup and configuration, but these are the basic steps. In step 7, we're going to create the schedule for the league that I just set up. So I'm going to click on create and edit the schedule. And there's a few different ways you can do this. You can auto-generate the schedule, which almost every league does. The system will automatically create a schedule for you based on your settings and some of the choices and options that are available. In addition, you can edit the schedule for a single round. If you wanted to manually set this up, you could click on Get Schedule for a particular round and choose which teams make up each group. You can also go in here and once your schedule is set, if you need to change the course or side which your league plays, if you're a 9-hole league and alternate between front and back, you can go and change the side or course for all the rounds at once. This is common in a situation where you have a rain out mid-season and the way your league alternates between front and back changes from the rain out till the end of the season. And finally, you can go and add, remove, and move rounds around once your schedule is created. For example, if you forgot to set your position round in the schedule, you can go and enter a blank round and then go and manually set your position round. Or if you go and want to extend your league another night, you can do so. You can add up to 30 rounds in the system. If you need more than 30, contact support, and generally that's not a problem, but 30 is the basic limit. So in this case, I'm going to create a schedule using the schedule generator in the system, and because it only takes a couple seconds to do. So the first option that you have is how do you want to order the tee times? And there's by tee time priority that you set for your teams or in random order. If we take a second and go back to our league setup and go to assign team numbers, one of the options when setting up your teams is the priority within the schedule that you want to set. So if Bob and Diane want to generally tee off earlier and maybe Carrie and Grant want to tee off later, I can assign them numbers that the system will use to take that into consideration when creating the schedule. Obviously, not everybody can be first and not everybody can be last, so it does its best to accommodate the situation. If you're interested in how this works, it simply takes the value of the tee time priority of the two teams playing, adds them together, and the teams with the lowest total are placed higher in the list than the teams with the higher total. So for instance, in this case, if a 7 and a 5 play together, that's always going to be the highest, and they're going to be the last group. But if a 7 and a 2 are paired together, that's actually going to be lower than when two 5s are paired together, and they will appear ahead of the 5s. So we're going to save this just to show you how this works. And we're going to go back to create and edit schedule, auto-generate, and we're going to choose tee time priority. Note that if there's a equal weighting for the tee time priority, those groups are randomly distributed within that block of priority. So you can then choose which rounds you want to schedule. Some leagues play a position round where they leave the round blank, and we're going to make round number 7 the position round in this league. So what happens is we play 6 rounds of normal play, and then after round 6, we look at the schedule, and some leagues do it differently. Some place the first and second place team against each other. Some match the first and last place team against each other and set the schedule. You're going to set the schedule manually for the position round, so this will leave the round blank. It's going to erase whatever matchups you have that you mark as a position round for this round. In addition, you can leave a round as is. If you only wanted to schedule the first half of the season and then reschedule the second half, you can do that. And this will leave the round blank, or it'll leave the schedule as is if you select as is. Note that once you enter scores for a round, You cannot change the schedule for it. And finally, we need to tell the system which course and side to play. In this case, I have one course and we alternate between front and back. And you can quickly do that by clicking click to set course side. And it's going to take a best guess as to how to set that. So I'm just going to say yes. And it's going to start us on the front and alternate on down. Again, you can change this later if need be. So once I'm done here, I'm going to create schedule. And it's telling you, hey, are you sure you want to do this? It's going to erase whatever you have in there. I'm going to click yes. And it just takes a couple seconds. And now the schedule is created. I can go to schedule up in the menu. And then I can choose, by default, it's going to pull up my first league date to show. But I can also choose all dates and click get schedule. And now it shows the entire lineup for the year. And you'll notice for my position round, it left it blank. Okay, so I can go back here, show you a couple other things in the schedule. We'll go to league setup. And now you'll notice step 7 has a check mark next to it. And click on create schedule. We're going to edit the schedule for the first round. I'm going to click get schedule. And you'll notice my team number 1, which I placed early in the rotation in the tee time priority, is actually teeing off first. But let's say by chance for this round I can't play first. I need to play, starting at 5:30 or so. I can go and drag this round down and reposition the order. And now I'm playing 5th, and click schedule, save schedule, and now I am playing 5th. Likewise, if I needed to set my position round, I can then choose round number 7, click get schedule, and I have to pick what course we're playing and what side we're playing, and then choose the teams that are being matched up, and when I'm done, click save, and then I would be finished. In addition, I can move rounds around. So I'm going to click on add, move, remove rounds. And you'll notice here's our full schedule. And I can do things like insert a round before or after the selected round. I can delete this round. Or again, I can drag this round up and down. Maybe I wanted my position round to be round number 8. So I'm going to drag this down. And now I'm scheduled for round 7. The new round is 7, the old round was 8, and vice versa. So they swapped. And I can click save. In addition, a lot of leagues play multiple segments where points get reset at the start of each segment. In my current configuration, I'm going to save this for now. In my current configuration, I only have one segment. I'm going to click here to add another segment. And now you'll notice for the first segment, I can now drag this up. And I'm going to place that after our position round because that's typically when the segment would end. So we're going to play 8 rounds, accumulate points for the first segment, and then starting with round number 9, points will be reset to 0. Probably the most typical setup is 3 segments where you have a first and second half and a championship night. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to add another segment. And let's say first we're going to move our position round up to round 7. And then I'm going to end the first half after round 7. Then I'm going to play 7 more rounds. And now I'm going to insert a blank round after that and move my segment up. I'm going to click save. And maybe I have a position round after round number 14 as well. So I'm going to insert another blank round and click save. And now we're set. We're set up for 16 rounds. The first half is 7 rounds long with a position night in round 7. The second half is 8 rounds long with a position night in round number 15. And then we have a championship round set up for round number 16. So using this feature, you can move things around, move matches around, add and remove rounds. and set your schedule up before you guys ever start playing.